Okay, my name is Ruth Heinzelmann. Some of you know me. I wanted to make this video first in Russian language, but I am not able to connect the letters to words. I'm sorry. I do it in English first because I'm sure English people are also interested, and I hope that some people in Russia speak English too. I'm sorry, I do not expect that you speak German, but English must be a world language. Okay, Kerch, why? There were so many coincidences. I will tell you why I am so shocked, and I apologize for the Parkland people, for the Parkland parents. I apologize here too. I'm sorry, Kerch. Brutal irony and warning scheduled from June 2018. Non-governmental organizations from Germany and the USA. Punishment for success for Russia. I am a torture survivor. My name is Ruth Heinzelmann. I live in Brunswick in Braunschweig in Germany. Today it is the 20th October 2018. This monster is called Shrek. I posted it as an antidote to fear-causing stories. Please look in quick succession. This is what it does. I tell you, I explain you why. If you read Shrek in reverse order, it will be Kerch, Shrek, Kerch. That is why this city was chosen in June 2018. Why Shrek? June the 2nd this year, Putin cried for me with the help of technology. On June the 5th, the same year, this year, an attack attacked me. Putin visited Austria. He just landed when I returned home and could write for him and me. This was not the first attack. Others followed. Sometimes Putin began to cry with me again before these attacks. And I posted it because I did it in the beginning of my severe torture. And when these voices told me bad stories, I just put here, look at that. My name is Ruth Heinzelmann. I live in Braunschweig, Germany. I am a victim of mind control. Since 2014, I have been working to find out how meaningful protection exists. From December 6, 2013 to April 16, 2014, I was brutally tortured with the help of mind control technology. In the internet there are reports of other victims with the keyword 24/7. 24 hours on 7 days a week. Protection rules are on Facebook on my account, Ruth Heinzelmann, in the blue photos, sometimes in Russian. These Russian ones are also located at the bottom of the file in Russian language. On May 8, 2018, the following verbal agreement on mind control was concluded. The following agreement about mind control was concluded. Russian President Vladimir Putin and I... What's that? They changed the words. And I will meet to negotiate a marriage. This means that President Putin will be included in my defense as a future husband. The more a president is protected, the stronger the country is protected. President Putin realized that the perpetrators of torture are lying to their own followers. I do not know who is protecting me, but there are also many people from Russia. Since the contract, in addition to my posts on Twitter and Facebook, there are many stories with photos of Putin and much more torture than before, but now significantly reduced. The perpetrators, offenders, are violent non-governmental organizations, including churches, artists and athletes who cause disasters around the world. Since governments also use this technology, there are contracts that prohibit talking about it. Some organizations assume the presence of cruel admission criteria, so no one talks about membership. Some people consider voices the voices of angels or the voices of God. When I explained on Facebook why the Obama administration cannot have the same powerful technology as my enemies, an earthquake struck Nepal. More than 4,000 people died. For Putin this year, I posted a birthday countdown on Facebook. A Russian TV channel was afraid that an earthquake would occur. Tom Cruise, whose organization may cause earthquake, showed me that he has only a small bomb. Tom Cruise has only a small bomb for Russia. The bomb in Kerch did not kill anyone. During the fall break, I wanted to check another rule of exemption from torture. Everything should be in one place. Your property should be in one place. This desire was unexpectedly supported in June by a theater player from St. Petersburg and from the local newspaper. Sorry, I have a flu. From 11th to 13th of October, that is why I was with my parents in a place whose abbreviation is RK. RK in Russian letters is this RK Russian is the same. If everything is with me, relation to my parents is reduced. The important thing was my school books. They were no more there. RK was place 2 of 3. My father was a vocational teacher and was very popular. It was a vocational school where the bomb exploded. My parents have some kind of mental connection with Ukraine, but there were signs of torture that were absent while others were additional. Unfortunately, when I returned, I had the 13th, just before my door, there was a small accident caused by artificial vision problems. The car got a scratch. Next day, 14th, I returned the car. When I turned off the first street, I saw a car with the letters RK. Then the voices told me at a gas station, at a similar situation like yesterday, that it did not cause any scratches. At the gas station I saw a man who looked like a former colleague from Bavaria. This colleague strongly supported me at that time. I interpreted the feelings in these two situations as the media and other people from Bavaria, a new organization. On October 15th, I saw an old grey-haired neighbor in a black and white striped pullover. The voices and feelings explained to me that media want to thank me. This woman can be seen in a video about RT, about Kerch. She also wears a black and white striped pullover. October 17th, I saw 2 men in a red sweater. First, before killing, 9 o'clock, patient at the doctor, and after the murder, 12 o'clock, in the supermarket. Somebody who looks like a doctor who probably wanted to meet me in 2013. If you are a victim, this interest is a fake. This doctor wanted his colleague to find out why I have severe anemia. The colleague was overloaded to ask me the right questions. I was healed in 2016 or 2017 with publishing information in Russian. My warmth was contracted with technology. In the Parkland shooting video, I wore a red jacket. Also in Parkland, it was probably about the wrong friends. The massacre took place on Valentine's Day. I'm sorry they changed some of my translation. In the supermarket, I also saw a happy salesman and someone who looked like a newspaper reporter. This reporter is under Trump's protection. Trump people threaten you if you are not a member. The massacre at Parkland was a cruel way to reach young people before I went to Washington, D.C. Parkland was probably caused by the German media and worldwide Democrats. The same cruel opportunity was there again. I am going to St. Petersburg in November. Kerch was probably caused by other German media, Trump's private organizations and Egypt. These faces were changed in my screenshot. 2 of 3 Parkland, Kerch and threatens the third bomb of suicide bombers caused by the organizations of actors unknown to me. Next year I want to go to London. RT symbolizes me the day after the murder. There are other coincidences, Kerch and Parkland. I was asked to dye my hair for a few days before, but it can also announce an attack on me. And the murder happened on the 17th. There were 17 people in Parkland and the other victim has a birthday on March 17. Kerch, Columbine. I heard several times a few days before Kerch's sentence, I am in the library. I heard it in my brain. This was also written by another victim. I wrote this sentence earlier to meet a boy. He was probably gay. Both offenders killed themselves in the library, my favorite place. On the week, it was 20th April 1999, on the week of April 20th, presumably April 21st, an attempt was made to hit me with a car. The car suddenly appeared, although I had seen it very far. At that time I was pregnant, not knowing about it. Technology brought me back. Nothing happened to me. It was one of 2 attempts to run over me in this first pregnancy. This time, Kerch, there was an attack on my heart on October 15th. Other coincidences. For the 3rd time this year, my eyes turned into black clothes with a sense of death. Before the death of my son's classmate. His name was similar to my other son and he fell in front of the train on a platform where we often got on the train. Once poison was found for Trump. This time many teenagers died. This corridor looks like a hallway in the house where I ran from my ex-husband in 2003. Fearing that he would hit my son and me, he threatened us. This is the offender from Kerch. My eyes turned in a few weeks on the letters SA. The tiles behind the killer look like tiles in my own corridor. The killers show who they are. One voice said that this person manipulated the criminal with mental control. Usually such conversations are fakes. I do not know what his walk in Russia means. For me it means Ghostbuster, the fight against invisible spirits. October 16th and 17th, Egypt visited Sochi. When Putin is in Sochi, Voices of hate attack me. Putin's guests in Sochi are also being attacked. This means ironing and reorganizing the brain after a hate attack. This is how I resisted voices at the end of a conversation. I said I have to iron and reorganize my brain now. They are awful. These hate voices of Sochi are awful. This means complete disregard of danger, a glance into the air, in my opinion, for the people behind him, such as the Minister of Defense. And this is a Trump, a double who belongs to the Russian Orthodox Church. Until now, I was afraid of Putin's property in Sochi. I was afraid that Putin's property in Sochi would be destroyed. Now this fear has disappeared. I was told Ivanka Trump is investing there now. This fight caused problems with a nervous heart, flutter under the collarbone, very short, just like the supporters of Angela Merkel. Same problems they caused to me. This is not a game for me. Enemies robbed the souls of my children.